Even if you aren't a battle-scarred veteran forged in the fires of Arena Commander, I am sure you're well aware of the go-to PvP ships of choice, the dynamic duo of light fighters, the Arrow and the Gladius. But which is right for you? Hello folks, Space Tech here. Today we're going to break down all the differences, advantages, and disadvantages between the Anvil Arrow and the Aegis Gladius. Coming in at roughly 972,000 aUEC for the Arrow and 1.17 million for the Gladius, it isn't going to be the price that differentiates these two fighters. So let's break down all the differences. First, let's take a look at the outside of these ships. The Arrow does not have any interactable components on the outside of the ship other than being able to open its canopy and the ladder to get into the ship. The Gladius is CIG's golden child when it comes to giving it all of the polish that they want to eventually give all ships. This is because it is the main ship used in the single-player game being developed alongside Star Citizen. As you can see, you can open the panels to look at avionics, radar, and other components. While none of this makes much of a difference now, a tangible difference due to this system is the ability to open an external storage compartment that holds 0.25 SCU. This means that it's not impossible for you to take the Gladius down to do a bunker mission, since you can use the storage on the ship to store all the extra weapons and armor you may loot from the bunker. It also has a built-in gun rack, so you can carry just the tools you'll need to get the job done. For some bonus points, you can watch this cool startup sequence every time, which is just awesome. Now, onto their combat prowess. First up, damage potential. The go-to setup as of 3.17.2 for both ships is all laser repeaters, so we'll be looking at comparing both of them outfitted completely with laser repeaters. All weapons in the laser repeater class of a certain size share the same stats, so that won't be relevant here. The Arrow has 2 size 3 hardpoints and 2 gimbaled size 1 hardpoints. If you choose to run 2 fixed size 3s with size 1s, then you get a DPS of 1672 per capacitor charge. If instead you swap out the size 3s with size 2s that are gimbaled, then you get a DPS of 1472. That's a decrease of 12% DPS per full capacitor. Since 2 of your weapons are forced to be gimbaled and the decrease in DPS is not extremely high, you should really try out both loadouts and run whichever one you find yourself to be more effective with. As for missiles, there's room for 12 size 1 missiles, which is usually the recommended size on small, nimble ships like the Arrow. The Gladius has 3 size 3 hardpoints. If you want to run fixed weapons, that would give you a DPS of 1500. If you went all gimbaled size 2 repeaters, that would give you a DPS of 1200. This is a decrease of around 20%. With that much difference, in addition to the fact that, in my experience, gimbals just aren't as accurate on the Gladius, I would definitely recommend going with the all-fixed loadout. For missiles, the Gladius can fit 16 size 1 missiles. Overall, this gives you slightly better DPS in the Arrow. When it comes to maneuverability, the Arrow's smaller weight and size mean that it's much easier to throw around and switch directions in. In addition, it has a smaller overall profile from its largest cross-sectional face, further increasing its ability to dodge incoming fire. Here's a few pictures depicting that. All in all, I'd say the Arrow is the more maneuverable of the two and will be harder to hit in a dogfight. As much as this seems like a landslide for the Arrow so far, the true balancing factor is durability, or the ability for your ship to take some hits and keep flying. The Gladius can fit 2 size 1 shields, where the Arrow can fit only 1. This gives the Gladius a total shield HP pool of 3000, compared to only 1500 for the Arrow. The Gladius also has a little more hull HP, but only enough to tank a few extra shots from a repeater. If you do get taken out, the Arrow has an expedited claim time of 2 minutes and 15 seconds, with a fee of 3,375 aUEC, compared to the Gladius having an expedited time of 1 minute and 41 seconds with a fee of 2,535 aUEC. So here, the Gladius has the edge, allowing you to return to the fight around 30 seconds faster and with a few more aUEC in your pocket. Wrapping it up, you're looking at the Arrow doing more damage than the Gladius if the Arrow goes all fixed weapons, or just a tiny bit less than the Gladius if it's going all gimbaled. And again, this is in comparison to the Gladius going all fixed. The Arrow also has more maneuverability and flies slightly better through atmosphere. Where the Gladius takes the lead is extra storage, a nice gun rack, and much higher durability. I would recommend the Arrow to those who are confident in their ability to avoid fire and take advantage as fights. The Gladius I would recommend to those who want a little bit more durability in case they do start taking damage. As always though, definitely try renting both of these fighters out and see what works best for you, since no ship is meant to be the best for everyone. And that wraps it up. So comment below, what is your favorite light fighter in Star Citizen that's earned a spot in your fleet forever? Also, comment what other ships you'd like to see me break down and compare. Please do like and or subscribe if you enjoyed this. Take care and see you in the next one.